Hello, my name is Logan Gilchrist. I'm a junior, and tonight I'll be performing my series. Okay, just making sure. I don't know if I can milk it out. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. I used to always sing that to my little brother. He would always say, "James, sing it to me again, sing it to me again. I'll feel better if you just sing to me." Do you feel better now, Billy? Do you feel better now? We all make choices every day. Most are inconsequential, like what color of shirt to wear or what to eat for breakfast. However, some decisions carry far more weight than others. James discovers this in Griefstruck by J.J. Jonas. They say I have a decision to make. Really, the decision's already made. All I have to do is say the words, and they'll take care of the rest. Just let go and say the words. Just say the words, but I can't, because they just won't come. Maybe if I could sing them, then it would be easier. Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy. It's time to say no. That's the last thing I remember, you know. Billy asking me to sing to him and to ride with me and Gracie over to Grandma and Grandpa's on Christmas Eve. "Please, James, please, can I ride with you and Gracie? Please, I promise I won't be any bother at all." "No, Billy. Gracie and I need to stop over at her parents' house and drop off some presents. And her parents really don't need another kid running around and screaming. Besides, Gracie and I haven't been alone together all day. Just go ride with Mom and Dad and Mimi and Pops. We'll be over there in a little bit, I promise, okay?" "Aw, but James, I want to hear the new song you've been working on, and you promised to give me a ride in your new truck." "I'll give you a ride later. Now go on and leave us alone." "Mom." His little face was falling. 12 years of pride pushed aside as he offered to let me take first crack at the dirt bike he was hoping for on Christmas morning. "I'll let you go first. You can ride it as long as you want, all day if you want to. Just please, please, please don't make me ride with Mom and Dad. Mimi and Pops are like old farts. And besides, I want to hear the new song you've been working on." "You want to hear a new song? Fine. Here's one for you. Billy is a moron, but E-I-E-I-O. His brain is smaller than a nut. E-I-E-I-O. "Shut up, James. I'm going to tell Mom." "Go ahead, Peanut. She won't believe you. I'll tell her you were singing it. Some crap you picked at that low-life school of yours. Now, who do you think she's going to believe, huh? Nuts for brains Billy or responsible James just earned himself a brand new truck? Huh? Huh?" Billy walked away defeated as Gracie chided me for being an abusive big brother. But I didn't care. He was always such a pest. He was always such a pest. Gracie and I got ready to head over to her parents' house. I never even told Mom and Dad goodbye. I remember the last thing I did is I pulled out of that driveway because Billy looked back at me with some sort of pitiful last hope look on his face, and I shot my arm out the window and I gave him the finger. His face sort of contorted in anger and gave me a shove it sign with his arm, and I just had to laugh because honestly, the kid had guts. He wasn't afraid to stand up for himself, not even against the older brother that he worshipped. Mom was always after me to set an example for him. "James, you know Billy wants to be just like you. He will do everything you do. He wants to grow up to be just like you. You need to set the example for him to follow. Watch your step. Little eyes are watching, you know." "I'm sorry, Mom. I let you down. But how was was I supposed to know what was going to happen that night? How do any of us know what's going to happen in the heartbeat of the next moment? One minute you're joking around and singing about your little brother being nuts for brains, and the next... I didn't know, Mom. I just didn't know. Gracie and I headed over to her parents' house. We were going to spend a little bit of time there and then meet up with mine later at my grandparents'. I mean, you know how it is when you get older. You got to divide up the time between everybody. Now, Gracie's family gathering was huge, so by the time we were done there, we were running a little late. I better call Mom and Dad so they won't worry about us. I'll tell them we'll be over there in a little bit. The phone rang and rang. I cursed their old-fashioned ways to myself. Why could they just invest in an answering machine like everyone else? At least, then I could have left a message. I slammed the receiver down in anger. Jesus, where are they? They probably had to stop by the store for milk, or something dumb like that. Or maybe they were out in the garage admiring Pop's new riding lawnmower for the 5th time. The old man thought he was the first to ever own one. The Neil Armstrong of lawns in his geriatric neighborhood. Jeez, old people get such a buzz out of the dumbest things. Gracie and I decided it was time to head home. She handed me my coat, and we got in my truck and drove to my grandparents' house. But when we got there, there was nobody home. Maybe they had car trouble. Let's backtrack to my house and see if we can find them. You know, it never occurred to me that something could be wrong. Not even when I saw the police lights still surrounding the wreckage, because that could not be my family's car, twisted and gnarled there on the exit ramp. It was just a double cab truck that looked like my dad's. Even when we pulled over, I still thought it was just some huge coincidence. I could still hear ambulances screaming their way to the hospital in the distance as a wrecking crew tried to pry a cherry red sports car from the windshield cavity of the overturned truck. It wasn't until Gracie's mom pulled up, and I saw that she was crying, that I began to know that this could somehow connect to me. But Billy, what about Billy? Mom and Dad are invincible, and grandparents are old, so nothing can happen to them. But Billy was my responsibility. I was supposed to look out for Billy. Gracie's mom drove us to the hospital, where I learned that my mother, my father, and both of my grandparents were already dead. Just like that, my entire family was gone. And Billy, well, they told me Billy was still alive. Sort of. Machines were keeping him alive. My little brother, the one who wanted to hear me sing, the one who wanted to ride in my new truck, the one who wanted to be just like me. The one I gave the finger to. Machines were keeping him alive now. And the doctor said they would be up to me on when to turn them off. There's really no hope of recovery. The trauma to the brain was just too severe. As the only surviving relative, you will have to give us confirmation to terminate the life support. You're kidding. I gotta decide when to end my kid brother's life? I'm not even 18. I shouldn't have to do this. I can't do this. My God. God, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? I was down at the funeral home this morning picking out coffins, for crying out loud. I've never even been to a funeral before, and now I'm planning 4. 5. Counting Billy's. Dear God, somebody please help me, because I just can't do this. The minister was here, and all he did was say that it was God's will. Well, was it? Was it your will that someone got I'm so sorry, Billy. If I'd just taken you with me, then we'd be going through this together. We'd be here together right now. But I'm here now, okay? Me and you. Together. Will you feel better if I sing to you? Will that help? Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy. Goodbye, Billy. It's time to say goodbye.